There was a time when we were only surviving. We hunted, we ate, we slept, we feared, but we didn't wonder, not yet. And then something happened. Suddenly humans were painting spirits on cave walls, burying their dead with ritual, telling stories of other worlds. Something had shifted, not in the world, but in our minds. The original awakening of human consciousness was not a product of evolution alone, but of vision. Our ancestors encountered something beyond the material through sacred plants and rituals. In a sacred silence, something within them turned on, the receiver, the part of the human soul capable of perceiving the real. What it showed our ancestors was so profound, it changed everything. In altered states, they saw patterns, beings, realms of light. They weren't imagining, they were receiving. When they came back, they weren't the same. They painted what they saw, they taught it, and human spirituality was born. But maybe we've always known this story. In another familiar telling, there is a garden. And in that garden, two humans walk in peace, but without awareness, innocent and without unknowing. And then they eat a fruit. And their eyes are opened, their receiver turned on. That story, the story of Adam and Eve, has been misunderstood and retold for centuries. It's not a story just of rebellion. It's a story of awakening, a lesson, the first instant of self-awareness. The fruit turned on the vision, the shift. The moment we become aware of self, of truth, of death, of purpose. The moment the receiver consciousness comes online. A deep inner antenna suddenly activated, tuned to the frequency of the divine. This wasn't a fall, it was a transformation. A transition into sacred consciousness. But soon after this awakening came fear. Society and people, in their hunger for control, buried the mystery. Questions became taboo, visions became madness, and the door to the divine connection to the one within was closed, or so we were told. But that door never truly closed. It's always been there, waiting. And the transmission, it never stopped broadcasting. We only received the base reality signal. It's up to us what we choose to tune into. Today, through modern science, that door is opening again.
I met Albert Hofmann quite a few times. He loved nature. He was taking small dosages of LSD in his garden until his death. And he said, I see the hand of God there. And if anybody thinks that the atoms can do it all by themselves, they just don't know what they are talking about. And it was clear for me during graduation that, the consciousness is the product of the neurophysiological processes in the brain, and when the body goes, the brain goes, and there goes consciousness. And it was as simple as that. Now I see it very differently. I realize we have absolutely no proof that consciousness is generated in the brain. Very, very few people realize this, including scientists. So those are tremendous contributions that psychedelics can bring.
Modern science is rediscovering what ancient shamans and prophets always knew, that these sacred tools can heal trauma, dissolve the ego, and reconnect us to the real. We are, in a way, remembering the path, not to escape reality, but to see it fully, to tune in again, to receive. To taste the fruit was to become conscious, and to become conscious enabled the choice to surrender, not to our old animal way of existing, not to religion, not to authority, but to the one, the ultimate observer. That surrender, the deep reverent yes, is what the mystics called Islam, inner peace through submission, not a label, not of a religion, but a state of being. It is the way, a letting go into the current of the real. So maybe the story was never about guilt. Maybe it was about remembering, about retuning. We ate the fruit, we opened our eyes, the receiver turned on, and we were never meant to stay asleep. Once we understand the beginning of consciousness, then we can start to understand how it functions.